Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Sports on the Rocks. With me, as always, KP, Cody, Boy Debo. It's March. It's madness. We're loving every minute of it. Back for another week to give you guys the best recap we can. Um, Sadness over here, happiness in the other two screens. That's going to be a common theme for the next 45 minutes. So that's awesome. Guys, how we feeling? Michigan's rolling.
It's just great to be a Michigan man right now. That's just that's just how it feels to me. Just great on all fronts. We were talking about it. I don't know if anyone caught the live stream today, the live stream of the watch party. We were watching the Kentucky Wildcats take on the Iowa State Cyclones. Did not get the outcome we wanted. We were rooting for the boy Pops, but mentioned a little bit on there. Michigan athletics is just superior. I mean, men's basketball rolling in the Sweet 16, women's basketball rolling in the Sweet 16. Men's hockey yesterday just beat the Suckeyes, that team down south, for the Big Ten championship, 7-3, not even a game at Yost Arena. Baseball is firing on all cylinders. It's just who's got it better than us?
Well, it's funny you say that because I was just going to pose the question, who's got it better than us? I mean, it's been a pretty sweet ride as of late.
Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a pretty sweet ride. Howard came out gunning first half, first round. Um, Michigan played well. I mean, they played within themselves, did everything they needed to do. But I will say, second half pulled away. And then this game against St. Louis, Drew had alluded to sort of just the peskiness that is the Billikens. And so very happy to see that outcome. Team is still playing within themselves, within their identity, sharing the ball. Every guy at any point can get their shot off. So it's hard to defend that. I will say one of the cooler things to come out of this first weekend, um, Big Ten working their way right now to getting six, possibly seven teams in. We will see as we're recording this video, we're actually seeing the ending between Iowa and Florida.
Well, that's what
So,
I
Cody,
I
go ahead.
I, I
I
say. I,
see
di-
you.
I, di- I didn't want to interrupt you, but yeah, we're about to get. There's a chance we're about to get Big Ten team number six in right here as we're recording. Iowa just drained a three-pointer to go up in the end of this game. 4 seconds left over Florida. Where they're up 73-72 right now. Florida is about to inbound the ball, so we are about to see the ending of this game. We got another nail biter. This is why we march right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we do it. This is why we do it. Come on, we're taking a timeout. We got to burn all of our timeouts, people. Here we go. It's going to be a 10-minute, 4 seconds, but just love this. I just love this time of the year. There's been so many good games already. We jotted some down just to touch on, in case, in case you want the 30-second recap of the weekend, but one of the best ones. High Point over Wisconsin in the first round. That game was electric. I don't know if you guys watched it. Dustin, I mean, you talked about this being one of the upsets last week on our pod as one of the ones to watch. I mean, what'd you see?
Yeah, tremendous game from High Point. Um, really kind of played how they've been playing all year, pesky on defense. Um, a guy that shoots the ball specifically behind the 3-point line. In that game, well, I guess first of all, we'll touch on collectively throughout the season went 0 for 2 on 2-point field goals. Yeah, 0 for 4, 0 for 4, excuse me. During the regular season, leading into the conference tourney and now March Madness. Like I said, pesky defense, got a turnover, flipped the ball up the court, and wouldn't you know it? But he was the only one to score that and win that game in that 2-point layup situation. So it was almost poetic. But yeah, I mean, High Point kind of lived up to their bill. Unfortunately, they met their match in the second round and didn't move on. But High Point was an exciting team all season, so not at all surprised to see them come out with that dub. And I alluded to this too, and no disrespect to Wisconsin's men's basketball team, but every year it seems like they get upset by somebody.
You're not wrong.
It is what it is. Yeah, I mean it, but great for basketball, great for March Madness. Tremendous play on that final, like I said, turnover and cherry pick ahead for the layup. So, Cody, take it away.
And update, Iowa, number 9 seed Iowa takes down number 1 Florida in the round of 32. Florida is out of it. A lot of people picked to win this whole thing out of it. Iowa advances. That is now 6 Big Ten teams in the Sweet 16. By far, they have the lead. We looked it up earlier. Right now, SEC only has 2 teams. Now they have 3 because Tennessee won. So they have 3, and they have a chance of 1 more if Alabama wins the late game tonight. So they have a chance, top of 4. We have 7 right now. No, we have 6 right now with a chance of getting 1 more 7 if who's the last one? Oh, if UCLA beats UConn, which I mean, just saying, it's still the first half, 10 minutes in the first half, but UCLA is up 16-12 on UConn right now. So, hey, the Big Ten might just mess around and get 7 teams in this Sweet 16, which is unheard of. The 5 is already the most since the Sweet 16 has become a name of a round, which was in like 1970 something. I forget the year. But since it's become a thing, this is the most teams the Big Ten has ever had in the Sweet 16. So shouts out the Big Ten, just proving we are dominant in every sport. I love it.
Couldn't have said it any better. I'm going to leave it with what that is right there. I love it. Drew,
Well,
what else
also
touched you this March Madness?
speaking of the Big Ten, another good stat is that in the first round, it was the first time a conference has had 5 wins by 20 or more in a single round ever.
Yeah, for that first round of the
Yeah,
tourney. Yep.
it
Yeah.
was just dominant. Purdue, Michigan, Illinois, Michigan State, Nebraska all just obliterated the competition. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so apparently basketball is happening right now, and my Wildcats played today, as Cody alluded to our live stream. Um, Short and simple, embarrassing for the money spent. Um, not good enough. Not good enough coaching. 20 turnovers ties back to the coaching. We couldn't break down their defense to save our life. Um, it was always going to be oh way or no way, and there was no way today. Iowa State uh, came out a little slow, gave me some false hope, but turned it on. Absolutely dominant. Deserved every bit of it. Um, yeah, on to being disappointed again next year. Already on to college football. Arch Manning, here we go.
I love that. I love that.
You watching, listening, subscribe, follow, comment. Okay, it's free. What are you doing? Just hit the button. Cost you nothing. Enhance your knowledge. Like, subscribe, follow, and comment. Ride with the boys.
For those of you that got in on the Sports on the Rocks bracket challenge, we'll give a little bit of an update here as it stands currently. Nick LaPlante and Justin Pickrell is tied for first place currently with 46 points. Nick has Duke as the champion, and Justin has Michigan as the champion.
Ooh.
Not far behind,
Okay.
only 1 point behind. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys tied, only 1 point behind. Jay Ham, Derek Carruthers, AJ Shan, that's Sarah's boyfriend, and Scott Heath, that's one of my like second or third cousins, Scott Heath. Love that. Love that. Got some good competition. Debo, you're not far behind. Um, just a little bit of an explanation. I am in last place right now, and I mean, say what you will. my two girls picked this bracket. I just showed them the mascots and basically said pick which one. They had Louisville as our champion because they love Cardinals, um, for what the Cardinals stand for.
This is a real convenient cop out.
I'm just letting you know they did pick Michigan to win it all, though. I mean, conveniently they saw the Wolverines and they knew what's going down. They knew what to do when they saw the Michigan Wolverine symbol come up. So they did pick Michigan to win it all, but they had Michigan and Louisville in the championship, and Louisville's obviously out of it. So that's that. And I mean, if it means anything in our money bracket, I am tied for first. So I mean, I do somewhat know what I'm talking about.
That's the one the girls filled out, not the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Happy to see everyone participate, and uh, first weekend will be wrapped up here. We talked about this during the live stream. I personally am not staying. First of all, the late game tips off at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me tell you how on a Sunday I'm just not staying up until 12:30, 1 a.m., whatever it is, then that game ends. But almost done with opening weekend. So bracket challenge will move on after this, and we'll get some more action. I'm sure people moving around in the standings, and yeah. With that though, I would like to touch on some of these other games. A big one, VCU takes down UNC, North Carolina. Hubert Davis subsequently fired, gentlemen.
With the program comes the expectations. He was following Roy Williams, decades of success, and this North Carolina team wasn't ready or good enough. They were so Caleb Wilson like dominant and needy that last week in the podcast, this is why this was one of my picks. VCU over North Carolina. They were going to be in trouble without Caleb. And like I said, with that program comes a certain amount of expectations. It's why I'm so pissed off about Kentucky. It comes with it. Um, do I necessarily think that firing him solves some of their issues? No, that roster needs to be significantly reconstructed. But same thing with Mark Pope at Kentucky. I probably would have given him a year to get it right, but there's no pay. There's not going to be any patience at these programs. It's that way in college football too. There's too much money now flowing around that they just don't care. You can't really, when you're one of those programs on the football side, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas, USC, Miami, Florida. It just comes with it. So he's out. I don't know who they replace him with. I think it would be, I think the first phone call you make, even if you know it's going to be a no, is you call Jay Wright. How happy are you broadcasting? How many zeros? Make him say no and then move on down the list. But is what it is. That's
I
the
don't disagree
college
with that.
culture.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't disagree. I think that's what it is. We talked about this during the live stream. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Mark Pope, how long that leash is there. Does it get another go about it? I mean, like you alluded to, Drew, the amount of money that was spent on that Kentucky roster, I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if he is let go. Now, we did touch on this. He's 17, $18 million buyout, somewhere in that range. So, you're gonna have to fork over a lot to do it. I don't know where that money specifically comes from, but in today's era, you're right. I mean, that leash has just gotten smaller for college coaches and the ability to maybe have a mundane season and then expect or get another year to kind of prove yourself. So be very interesting. But I think what you're going to see is some of maybe these mid-major coaches. We just saw it with Jerry McNamara, Sienna, got offered the Syracuse job, accepted that. So, but I could see a lot more of these mid-major teams. High Point's head coach is very competent, very, um, skilled in his coaching ways and able to get a lot out of his players. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that. I don't know if we necessarily maybe see a quote unquote lateral slide from one of these coaches from another Power Four conference or team, but not surprised. Again, Drew, you hit it right on the head. It is what it is.
Part of it too is, I mean, obviously, depending on where you live in the country, you like who you like, but in a lot of ways, for instance, I'm spoiled, right? As a Kentucky fan, I've had Anthony Davis. I've had the blue and white team with Calipari where he would just sub 5 for 5 because he had just that many fucking NBA people ready to go. Um, so with that being said, it's like there's only so much of Aberdeen I can take when I'm used to Andrew and Aaron Harrison, or I'm used to John Wall, or I'm used to Devin Booker. Like it's just it's different
Therese
now.
Maxey. Sorry.
Yep.
Shouts out my Sixers. Had to. But yeah, I get it.
But
I mean,
I'm spoiled in that sense. Like it, and North Carolina spoiled. Jordan, Tyler Hansbrough, really throwing it back. Like you're just used to a certain level of expectations, and when 3 out of the last 4 years Kentucky doesn't make the Sweet 16, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And when you come in, Mark Pope, in your opening press conference, I played here. I know what the expectation is. You just coached a team that turned the ball over 20 times. Not good enough. You're not meeting expectations. So it's a give and take with some of the teams you support.
Another downturn for those Suckeyes down south. They couldn't get out of the first round. You know, they lost to VCU or TCU. Still, it was only a 9 over a 8, but still an upset, technically by the seedings. Unfortunately, they couldn't be one of the wins for the Big Ten because, you know, they don't really participate in basketball. They only care about football. So
thank God they have football, or else what would they be?
irrelevant. Texas A&M took down St. Mary's. That was the one that I called out on the podcast last week. You know, all I'm saying is Debo called one, I called one, Drew called one. We all called our own upsets. I mean, if only we should have put that in a damn parlay. That'd have been nuts.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh God.
we gotta try to do that for this next week.
I even called me
We
being
won't.
upset when Kentucky was going to lose to Iowa State.
I mean, you
Round of
did. That's what I'm
32.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be too mad because you did say they would win the first game and lose the second. So
Oh, I can be
Here's
mad.
the thing too. I just think that you're like you get a lot of these fans, and sort of historically, you know, Kentucky has been one of those teams who's been able to consistently sort of put together a natty run or win a natty. That it's just I don't know. To me, it's tough to run from those expectations. It just is.
Well, and just touching on it briefly, like I know without getting too far into the weeds on Big Ten versus SEC, now that there's actual NIL, you don't get sanctioned or punished anymore for spending money. Down south, it used to be the big car dealership would funnel the cash. Big car dealership, the big car dealership. The one hot shot that made it was able to get Alabama and Saban all those players, and Kentucky all those basketball players. Devin Booker in his famous Dodge Charger. Now that it's free game, these Big Ten schools, even like one like Northwestern, so good academically. Those people that graduate from there are just raking it in. So even the Big Ten schools are just more, now that it's an even playing field as far as who can throw money and when, the Big Ten just has more money. Even if, and honestly, they've spent it better too. Clearly, they're dominating every sport. They're spending it wiser. They make more of it. And now the SEC is showing cracks. Alabama ain't as dominant anymore in football. Like LSU has kind of struggled the last couple of years. Now Lane Kiffin's there to fix it all, I'm sure. But I mean, there's a discrepancy there. And again, without going too far into the weeds, um, that's another factor. And again, I just want to make it clear it's not just that I truly believe in, we can again go into the weeds some other time. It's not just about the money, it's how you spend it. And the Big Ten is just smarter, clearly.
If you didn't see, Utah State took down Villanova, and if you saw the interview at halftime right before they get back on, the Villanova's head coach says, he said, "What are you gonna do with your staff?" And he said, I'm just gonna fire my whole staff right now." Because they gave up a bunch of points in the paint. But yeah, I mean, lots of upsets this week. Tennessee took down Virginia today. That was a big one. A lot of people picked Virginia to come out of the Midwest region. I don't, I mean, fools, not me. Because I mean, there's
Very nice.
only one team coming out. Only one team coming out of the Midwest, baby.
Easiest part of the bracket.
Hey, now. I know you're rage baiting. Take it easy.
Texas
Tell
took
you
down
what,
Gonzaga. Go ahead.
yes.
No.
No, I was just gonna say Texas took down Gonzaga. I saw this and I want to get your guys' reaction, but it was something along the lines of um, what was it? Villanova is like the Oregon of national championship opportunities or something to that effect. They'll just let you down. I don't know if you saw this, Drew. You seem like you're shaking your head like you did,
Yeah.
but I mean, Gonzaga just I can't off the top of my head think of a time when they've been in a national championship. I think their best crew run was when they had what is it, Adam Morrison or
Adam
something? What's
Morrison.
his name?
I I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like they had a run a couple years ago where they had Stockton's kid. They had
Okay.
John
Yeah.
Stockton's kid on the team, and they were really good that year, but they didn't win.
Yeah. But again, another letdown from Gonzaga. And I mean, I don't know what you do if you're Gonzaga. I mean, something's got to change. Obviously, you're talented enough to whoop on your conference that you're in, but when it really comes to the big games, I mean, we saw it earlier this year. Michigan beat them by 40.
Is that another name though, potentially for Kentucky and North Carolina? Do you call Mark Few and just say, "Hey, I understand how your longevity there, your passion or whatever for that program. Take your passion, and we have the resources. What's the number?" And just let them tell you no, but make the call. I think that's another one you call.
I think you'd be silly not to because I feel like it's such a good advantage or situation for them to be into. Because, like you said, the worst he's going to do is say no. But I think it's a bit of that, a combination of that, along with reaching out to some of these other coaches who are maybe in a situation where, you know, they could stand to benefit from relocating to a university that has the resources and the funds to be able to truly back you and help you make a run. I mean,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way it went.
yeah. Just treat it like dating. The worst you can say is no. That was my strategy
Exactly. Yeah.
before I got married. Just
Yeah.
the worst you can say is no.
With that, we had, I mean, such a potential monumental finish to a basketball game that there possibly ever could have been in March Madness. How do you want to take this one away?
Yeah, just Vandy and Nebraska came down to the wire. Vandy throws up a Hail Mary Hail Mary, half court, half Hail Mary, and this ball, I mean, half of the ball was below the rim, and somehow the ball bounces out and they don't win the game. Just a bad beat for Vandy, but a great game for March Madness.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I stayed up to watch it. I'm glad I did because it was, I mean, even though it didn't go in, it was still March Madness. I mean, you had Nebraska players, you know, ready to throw up because they thought it was going to end like that for them. So, I mean, Hoiberg on the sideline saying, "Man, I just glad to see that ball get out of the rim because we all thought it was going in." So, I mean, would have been much cooler had it went in, but yeah, Vandy had to take the short end of that straw. I mean, someone had to lose that game, and like you said, Cody, it was a terrific game through and through. So can't be mad at it. It is what it is.
How mad are CBS execs that they get Iowa and Nebraska Thursday night? For
I,
fuck's sake. They should
I would
reseed at the Sweet 16.
That's an interesting perspective. I like that.
that would be pretty sweet, honestly.
Yeah.
Good God.
I was just gonna say I was just about to look to see if they have the schedule for what the next round's gonna be. I see they have like what days they're playing on, but they don't have any times announced yet. So I'm not sure what time or channel or whatever these guys will be on. It just shows Michigan plays Friday, so we'll have to wait to see. They play the winner of um, Alabama and
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech tonight. Yeah,
I mean,
Alabama, Texas.
I could be wrong with this, but I don't see how Michigan and either Texas Tech or Bama doesn't end up the Friday primetime game. You know what
That's
I
what
mean? I could
that's
see that.
kind of what I'm
I
thinking.
could see that being a 7 o'clock tip off or something like that. I think they'd be silly not to, like I said.
Well, the other games right now are Tennessee, Iowa State, St. John's, and Duke, and then
That's going to be so good.
Ooh.
All of
it
it's going to be
kind
so
of
good.
depends what the other one is. The East region. Where's the East?
See, that's a game they're happy about. St. John's and Duke. That's a heavyweight fight.
Oh, the other one's going to be Michigan State and the winner of this UCLA UConn game.
Another one. That region is hell.
Oh, we talked about it last week. That region's
Hell.
the toughest one for sure.
Oh,
And then now, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but with Florida going down in the South, already one of the easier brackets, but that paves the way for a team like an Illinois or a Houston or a
Houston.
Nebraska or something to get out of there. I mean, I think all signs would point to that, but I mean, I wouldn't write out Illinois, one of the highest scoring offenses in the nation. I mean, that's, we'll see, but yeah, that East region is whoever comes out of that is going to be battered and bruised, really and truly. Real quick too, we all saw the soundbite and video, whatever, from Sienna player walking off the arena past the University of North Carolina players. Did we see this video?
No.
Oh, you didn't see this? Okay, so Sienna players walking off the arena, walking through the tunnel and everything, and you're walking by the other teams who are getting ready to, start warming up on the court and everything. And the Sienna player's limping really bad. Looks like he's just gotten, beat up in an alley or something. And as he's limping by, he looks at the University North Carolina staffer and says, "Fuck, dude." Yeah. Oh, it was a perfectly clean soundbite. You gentlemen will have to look it up. But the North Carolina Stafford said, "I feel that,"
And that's the kind of
and they
kid they
just
need to
kept
go
walking.
get. When they reconstruct that roster, that's sometimes you just need a couple of the go fuck yourself guys that
Yeah, the
just
goons.
Yeah, not even goon, just the guy that like you see that Duke uniform and you're just like ready to can run through a wall instead of one
Yeah,
of
I get
these
that.
overpaid 5 stars. Sometimes that 3 star guy from small school or 2 star, probably in Sienna's case, maybe he might help you out a little bit.
Well, folks, with that, we will turn our attention to the Sweet 16s matchups that we got here that we can talk about because Arizona State, or excuse me, Arizona, Utah State, UCLA, UConn, Texas Tech, Alabama are still going on. But we will start in the East. We've got Duke and St. John's match up in the Sweet 16. That's going to be one of Friday's games. Cody kind of touched on that a little earlier. Right now, Drew, Duke -6.5 against St. John's. How you feel about that?
Oh, I wouldn't touch any game in that region now. I mean, Duke St. John's is going to be phenomenal. Not going to lie, pulling for UConn because I want to see UConn and Michigan State. Um, those are just two awesome games. All time coaches. I mean, it's everything you want. Everything you want. Talent, coaching. It's just going to be fantastic. If I had to pick outside of that bracket, I would like to see Arizona play John Calipari's Arkansas Razorbacks. I think that game is going to be an up and down, a lot of fun game to watch. Um, and also, selfishly, I picked Arizona in the Final Four. So, um, yeah, that region aside, I would say Arizona, Arkansas is going to be a fun one. I hope that's the one we get. If Arizona can hang on here versus Utah State.
Honestly, one that I'm looking forward to, Texas and Purdue. I mean, to me, that's just gonna be a good one. I mean, Purdue just out here, the 2 seed making it 11. Texas at an 11 seed making it all the way to the Sweet 16 right now. Love it.
I think for me, I'm gonna go a different route. I think it's got to be Illinois Houston. Number one offense in the country, Big Ten to root for against Calvin Sampson. And Drew, you made this point, a inexperienced team for what he's accustomed to having. Usually you see a bit more of these fifth year and sixth year seniors through the transfer portal or something like that for him, or just naturally, as well. But yeah, I like Illinois Houston. That looks like it's actually going to be Tuesday, and we've got Houston, Handon, Illinois, 2.5 points in that game. So
Another one to look out for, the Big Ten battle of Iowa versus Nebraska. Also in the what region is that?
South,
The South region.
I
Yeah,
believe that's South.
yep, it is South. They split when they played each other in the regular season. Nebraska lost to Iowa the first game, and then Nebraska beat them the most recent time that they played. So they split in regular season. They get to play for a third time here in the tournament. You can't want anything else if you're a Big Ten team or Big Ten fan. I mean, that's just just great stuff. I mean, personally, I think I mentioned a little bit, it'd be sweet to see Michigan State and Michigan in the final for have us play for a third time and be in for the national championship.
I gotta say, I would love to see UCLA pull this game out. I don't know what it is that I want to see as far as the anarchy that is that sort of East bracket, but I'd love to see UCLA and Michigan State, little Big Ten championship kind of thing in the Sweet 16. Not Big Ten championship, excuse me. How dare I? But just Big Ten quality teams duking it out in the Sweet 16. I think that'd be really cool. Although to be fair, everything else we've touched on, they've been great games too. I mean, we're getting to the cream of the crop now, better competition, better gameplay, all that sort of stuff. So, a lot
I
to look
think
forward to.
I think another thing that we might be looking forward to is our boy Luxembourg plays again.
That is true. That is true. That boy, I mean, cooked St. Louis. I'm gonna be so bold. I will forever refer to him on this podcast and any other sort of publication as Dominican LeBron. I said it. I said it. It just is what it is. The man's gifted. He's like what Ben Simmons could have been if he actually had a shot. If he could actually shoot the damn basketball, he's like Ben Simmons. Explosive, plays with his head up, sees the passing lanes, can shoot the ball. I mean, Ben Simmons obviously couldn't shoot the ball, but that's what I'm saying. I just, I'm not here to glaze. I just he's a generational guy. He really is. So
I love it. I love it. He's playing out of his mind. This team is playing out of their minds right now. They're firing on all cylinders. This is the kind of play that we wanted for Michigan when we got to the tournament, and we're getting it. Um, if they play like, I mean, they play like this, nobody's beating them. I don't care. I don't care what it is. If they play like this, nobody's touching them.
I have to agree with you. I would love, though, to take a moment, gentlemen, pose you guys a question. First question out of two is who, and I think this is kind of probably an easy answer, but we're wrapping up the first weekend. Who's been your biggest disappointment in the tournament? Who comes to your mind immediately? I mean, I guess I'll take the lead personally. For me, I think it's Wisconsin. I mean, obviously, you know, different coach there, but same result. Shocking exit, round of 32, round of 64, whatever it is each year. But to me, they're the biggest losers so far. Biggest losers.
To me, it's Gonzaga, and it's just embarrassing to be the 3 seed and get taken down by Texas, who had a play-in game. They were playing in Dayton on Tuesday and Wednesday night. Like what the hell are we doing? And being the 3 seed, and you get beat by a play-in Texas team. I mean, great for Texas. I got no dog in the fight, but to me, that's embarrassing, and they're the biggest letdown so far.
I mean, I kind of have a three-part answer. Kentucky, just on a personal level.
Fair enough. Sure.
Duke, on a monetary level, because obviously I have money in brackets on Duke, and their play hasn't exactly been inspiring so far. They've won, which is all you need to do, but it hasn't necessarily been what we expected necessarily. Um, and then I would say, trigger some folks, all these mid majors. Miami of Ohio, thank you so much for wasting my fucking time at the bar Friday night. Appreciate it. Akron, nice job. Really laid it on the team that was favored over Miami of Ohio in the MAC tournament. Awesome job. Uh, this is exactly why um, I was so on it last week about um, resumes and stuff like that you leave out in Auburn team with all those grade one wins, and we had to let the feel good stories come in, right? And they got absolutely smoked. So
I mean, what about all these other
Well,
ones? Like Tennessee State, Wright State, Hofstra, Prairie View, Furman. I mean, CA Baptist.
like I get
I
High
mean,
Point one.
Siena, Long Island. Like some of them, I've heard. Like some of them are familiar. Northern Iowa, they've been there. South Florida, North Dakota State, they've been around. I mean, McNeese, they've been relevant as of recent. But I mean, what are the? I mean, what are we? if we're gonna cut the where we drawing the line, because I mean, if we're talking about Akron and Miami of Ohio, I mean, these teams are right there with them. They all got fucking dog walked.
I have a quick question before I get to part two. Hypothetical. I would love to play this out real quick. So we're looking at Miami versus Tennessee. Miami gets dog walked, excuse me. Let's replace Miami with Auburn. Hypothetically speaking, Auburn win that game? Do we get a good dogfight out of them against Tennessee?
I I think
Let's
it's
play
a.
hypothetical.
I mean, with Auburn and Tennessee, it would have just they know each other, they've seen each other. It would have been a tighter game, just naturally. The problem with Tennessee and Miami of Ohio, watching the entire game, is you could see it from the start. Byers is a nice player from Miami, but the gap was just you could just tell from opening tip that they just didn't stand a fucking chance. And again, it was nice to see good feelings. Oh wow, they made it, but that's not the point of what we're doing. So I mean, I think Auburn's a better game. I still think Tennessee wins.
The second part to my question, gentlemen, who has been the most surprising to you as of this first weekend of March Madness? Cody.
Well, to go kind of hand in hand with the Gonzaga being the most biggest disappointment, I would say Texas is probably the most surprising to me. Like we said, we got a team that was playing Tuesday night for the play-in, the first four in Dayton, and they just took down their three seed in their region, Gonzaga, who's a basketball powerhouse as of late, and took them down, and they're playing in the Sweet 16. They're one of the they're one of the few SEC teams that already checked their ticket to the Sweet 16. So good for them. They're one of the most surprising teams to me.
I mean, for my biggest surprise, I'm gonna give mine with some humility. I'm surprised by not how well Michigan looks. I'm surprised that I read it as wrong as I did. I did not. The Ohio State game in the Big Ten tourney was weird. Ohio State, that was their Super Bowl, whatever. That game was what it was. The Purdue game late, where kind of knew it was Purdue's day. Lendenborg is limping. Thought Dusty May should have pulled him. He didn't. He played it out, whatever. And then no LJ Case on. I'm like, listen, I really was on the St. Louis train. They should win that game, but it might be more than they bargained for, at least to an extent. Um, I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong. Um, Mara continues to impress me. The guard play's been great. Lendenborg's obviously a star. Um, yeah, so I was wrong, and personally, I'm surprised by Michigan and how dominant they are. Not that they're winning, but how dominant they are.
I was gonna say somehow the favored team to win the whole thing is surprising, which I don't know how. I mean, I guess I to me it kind of sounds like you owe Dusty May an apology.
No, I don't, because I still think it was the wrong move to leave Lendenborg in that game.
Seems to be paying off for him right now, though.
That call isn't paying off. That could have been a disaster if he turns to run for a loose ball late in that Purdue game when they weren't going to win, or if he dives on the whatever. It's not paying off because of leaving Lendenborg in a loss in the Big Ten tourney game. I'm
Hey,
just saying, I thought that it would at least be a little bit more difficult to this point, but Michigan just keeps making it look easy. And I picked them to win all of these games, but I thought it would look a little different, and I was
yeah.
wrong.
Hey, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Debo, how about you?
So I think my biggest surprise has to be Iowa. I mean, Clemson in the first round, no slouch, fifth best team in the ACC, team that I honestly thought was going to have a bit deeper of a run. But Iowa came in, stymied them, kept it a low, scrappy kind of contest, and walked away with a victory. And then, I mean, boys, we just saw them take down the defending national champions in Florida. Not a Florida team that I think strikes fear, maybe like last year's team, but a number one seed Florida team nonetheless. So for me, I think I'm going to go with Iowa on the biggest surprise so far. The one thing I will say that we didn't touch on as much as I think it deserves is St. John's win today. Did you guys see the final of that
Oh yeah,
game?
yeah.
Down to the buzzer beater layup,
Buzzer
and
beater
I mean,
layup. Yeah.
you got to arc that over guy jumping to his max vert. I thought it was a great layup and a great finish to the game. I mean, it would have went to overtime, but heck, ended up being the game winner. And good luck for St. John's.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's going to do it for all of our March Madness wrap up recap and looking to the future for the next week's games a little bit. One thing to be on the lookout for, though, we did do a couple bets. We, started off a little slow so far, but hey, we're gonna reel it back in. We're gonna get some dubs this week. So be on the lookout on the socials if you're trying to tail the boys, and yeah, we'll throw some parlays out there that we're feeling frisky on. But outside of that, we're gonna move on. And if you can't tell, I am ready. Football is officially back. Spring ball has started. The boys in Ann Arbor are hitting the gridiron this past week with a brand new coaching staff, lots of new faces, lots of new names to know. It's just a great time of the year. Football's back. Can't wait for the spring game in a few weeks. But it's just, hey, football's back, baby. We had a short break and we're already back.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm even more excited. We can do a quick little thing on this, Cody. We got a chance to hear from our boy Whittingham. A lot of things to look for through spring ball, things that he's noticed so far, some questions from John Jansen on his In the Trenches podcast. But a great listen, great chance to get a view into Whittingham and sort of what he's going to bring to Michigan and this head coaching position. What was, I guess, your big takeaway from all that?
My takeaway is if you are a Michigan Wolverines fan, you will love Coach Kyle Whittingham. He is exactly the guy that we need for this program. He is as advertised, just a hard-nosed, tough football coach that, you're not going to get, it's not going to be slouching or just jogging through stuff. You are going to work, and we are going to be a hardworking, disciplined, physical football team. And that's exactly what Michigan deserves to be. That's what our mantra or what our reputation is. So I'm just glad to have Coach Witt here and bring us back to that, bring us back to our roots and our tradition and being that kind of football team.
I think for me, couldn't agree more. I think there was a bit of a sense of relief. I mean, obviously, we got the introductory press conference from him, and that's sort of a cliche interview. I mean, you say your spiel, you're excited, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, but you really got a chance on In the Trenches to sort of hear, I guess, what it's going to look like, what he has seen so far, and just, a greater in-depth view into it. And I relay the same comments, Cody. I think it's exactly what this team needs. I think he's the leader that we've been looking for. someone to uphold that standard that is Michigan football and Michigan athletics. So I thought it was great. I think for me, the biggest takeaway is just how quickly he's been able to acclimate himself in Ann Arbor. It seems like it's been quite a smooth transition for him. And that's in every sense, the community, the city that is Ann Arbor, but also the football team and getting to know his players, the staff. I mean, obviously he's assembled it, so he has a pretty good idea, but just getting their sort of chance to gel and see what it's going to look like. So exciting stuff. You're not wrong. A lot more is going to come out of fall camp, or excuse me, spring ball, and we're going to get sort of a little more clarity on what this roster is going to shape up into being. So, like I said, I'm excited. Obviously, you're excited. So, big things to come out of Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of an update. I'm going to be looking for that this week, to get some actual insight and feedback on what the players are looking like. The first few days was no pads, so just kind of, making sure you're in the right position. You kind of know the calls, you're just kind of jogging through, walking through the motions and just kind of doing those kind of things. So not a lot to touch on from the coaches there. You can't really understand what kind of athletes you got when you don't have pads, you're not hitting people. I mean, this is a physical sport. You got to hit people to get an idea of what you're working with. So nothing much from the coaches on that as of right now, but like I said, I'm looking forward to hearing from them this week and how this team's looking. One piece that you and I touched on, privately this week. Coach Witt has already said Bryce Underwood is the starting quarterback. I mean, there's no beating around the bush. I mean, there's no hiding it. This kid is going to be the
Very
starter.
decisive.
He is it, and he let it be known. And I mean, like I told you, if it was anything else, it would be a disappointment, honestly. So I kind of see the only way that wouldn't happen is if he had some kind of monumental breakdown through between now and the start of next season. But I just don't see that happening. And this way, they can just focus all their time and energy and resources on not trying to figure out who the starting quarterback is, but on how we can make Bryce's job easier and make him a better starting quarterback for this football team. So I mean, I don't hate the move. You kind of want to have him earn it, whatever. I mean, we can talk about him earning it all we want, but that paycheck kind of writes itself, and we're not paying him that much money to sit on the bench. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this is that time because, like you said, we don't have pads on and all that. So you don't get a true sense. Obviously, we've got game tape on him, and Whittingham kind of touched on this himself, but this is a really good chance for him to become a leader. Obviously, he's got to work on his mechanics, his footwork, and all those sort of things to become a better quarterback from the jump. Now is the time to lay that ground, that foundation, that leadership mentality, and how he wants to be perceived by this team because he's going to take them as far as they're going to go. You know what I mean? So I agree. A lot of excitement going on right now. Weather's starting to break for us. We're starting to get some spring ball action. So definitely looking forward to it. I think we're April 18th for that U of M spring game. It's a Saturday, I believe. I think that's our date. Uh, but yeah, a lot to be excited about. It sounds like to touch just a little bit on position because, like you said, it's hard to get a true view without pads on. But it sounds like early reports. Savion Hyder, as advertised, going to be someone to look out for. And there's a lot of other freshmen who are going to be coming to the fold, but that was one that it seemed like the team has embraced, and he's really picked it up and ran with it. And it seems like he's going to be someone who's going to really foot that bill as a true Michigan running back. So exciting news to hear that too.
Yeah, not only just the team, but Coach Witt specifically mentioned him by name, and he said he is a very good football player, and he is going to he is going to play. He is going to play for this team. So very much excited to see him at the spring game. And yes, I can confirm it is Saturday, April 18th, kickoff at 2 p.m. Barring some kind of torrential weather, your boy's going to be there, 100%.
Yep. Yeah, we'll set something up, get some content while we're up there, be able to share it with you fans at home.
Drew, you got anything
Drew,
for spring ball?
yeah, how the Longhorns looking over there, sir? Anything?
Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait. Oh, this is we are pushing the chips all in. Sark has to get it done. It also starts April 18th as our spring game as well. Um, and this is the last year with Arch. So it's all in. Um, we'll see. I'm gonna temper some of the excitement. Obviously, I'm feeling very, very confident, but um, this year has got to be the year. Got to be the year for Sark. No more first round exits. Do I think we should have been in the playoff last year? Yes, but is what it is. Not good enough. Um,
Is that hot plate going to be turned up to 10 if it's bust on them playoffs?
yes,
Yeah.
I would be very shocked. I think a more likely scenario is that if Sark does not get it done, there will be more of a mutual. I think at some point he wants to return to the NFL anyway. It's been floated now for the last couple years, but he was never going to do it while he had Arch there. Um, again, this being Arch's last year, if things don't go necessarily as planned, or honestly, if he ends on a high, say we win the national title, I think there's a close to equal chance of him jumping ship sooner rather than later back to the NFL. But very excited, ready to go. Arch is so fucking back. He's so good. Just in case you hadn't heard. So fucking stoked. Can't wait. It's gonna be a good year down in Austin. And no, I won't be going to the spring game.
Hmm.
A little bit of a drive. A little bit of a drive.
All right.
Fake
I
fan.
guess we could excuse it
Oh shut.
with TSA being so unpredictable. I would say, yeah,
Yep,
we may we
that's
may
what I'm
not make
blaming.
we may not make that. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, hey, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, spring ball right around the corner, things kicking off, albeit in or excuse me, without pads, but a lot to be excited about. College football rearing its head. Love it.
Well, as we're saying this right now, UConn is
Gonna win.
UConn beat UCLA, so Big Ten will not have 7 teams in the Sweet 16, but we will have 6. UCLA does not make it, but hey, they had a good little run. UConn's a good team. They did not look very good the first half, but second half they've put it on them. So we'll see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on to our question of the day. We've got kind of an interesting one here. Had quite a laundry list of potential options, and this one stuck out. So we're going to rock with it to let us know what you think too on all the socials, comment, like, all that sort of stuff. So, question of the day, Sports on the Rocks. Would you rather be in a fight club that meets once a month or a book club that meets every single day? What do we got, boys?
I'll kick this off. Um, I thought I was gonna do Fight Club, but then I realized I'm over 30 now, 2 kids. God, I just don't have the fucking energy for that anymore. Not to mention
Yeah,
100,
okay.
160 pounds soaking fucking wet. Like, I'm just gonna, even if I fucking hate the book, I'm just gonna watch the movie at least. And it might even be a little bit therapeutic. I'll, I'll just go to the book club once a day.
Yeah, I think the cool answer is Fight Club, obviously, and it kind of seems like that's the way I want to lean, but at the same time, yeah, a lot of the same things. We're over the hill here. I got nothing. I got no beef with nobody. I ain't trying to fight nobody right now. I'll just take the book club. I'll go read some fucking Nicholas Sparks or whatever the fuck it is. Who cares?
I'm meeting at a parking garage underground on Sunday once a month, and I'm duking it out. Are you kidding me? You telling me I gotta spend every single day? Listen, I love reading. I do enjoy books, but I'm sorry, every single day. You know how much time that's gonna take up? And you're telling me I gotta throw fisticuffs for, 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how good or bad I do, I guess. But I don't know. That just seems like a really big commitment to do a book club every single day. So I'm gonna be swinging out. I'm gonna fight my way out of it once a month in the fight club. It is what it
What
is.
if
Plus, if it's just a shred as cool as it was in the movie Fight Club, I mean, I'd say there are some things that could come from it. So
See,
yeah,
my
I'm
thought
gonna.
went to never back down.
Oh yeah, the UFC movie, right? UFC,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
mixed martial arts fighter. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Um,
great
oh,
movie,
well,
by
and
the
I'm
way.
not gonna lie to you, boys.
Great movie.
Oh, tremendous movie. Yeah. Um, no, it's interesting because you guys went first, and I was kind of leaning towards book club, but you guys just made it very clear that I needed to fight in a fight club once a month. So that's where we're at, boys. So that's gonna be my answer.
What if you got knocked out cold? Like we're talking heavy breathing, just like like that kind
You
of
know what?
just out.
I'm gonna I'm gonna um I'm gonna pretend that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna deal with that until we get there. I don't even wanna think about it. I mean, am I happy with that answer? No, I don't wanna. I mean, like you said, we're in our 30s now. I don't want to be fighting anybody, but I mean, you both took book club and I couldn't imagine spending an hour every single day. So give me the fight club. Let's do it.
Well, if you would have done book club, then we could have done like a Sports on the Rocks read of the week.
Oh, that's a good point. We could have kind of our own little book club. Ugh. I think I got to stick with my answer. I can't turn back now.
See,
I just
Debo is a little
it'd be
spicy. He be wanting to get a little scrappy
oh
sometimes.
nah man. Come on. I'm a lover. I'm a lover. Well, I mean that's our question of the day. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get on the socials, follow along with us, give us your take on this. We always try to present you guys with the best question of the day. So give us a little shout on there and we'll see what you guys are choosing.
All right, boys. Well, March is mad. Another episode in the books. Love it. Lot to look forward to this week. Guys, like, follow, comment, subscribe. TikTok, X, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. Hit them all. Follow your boys. Another episode done. We'll see you next week. Adios.
Go blue.
Go blue.